This video will discuss asbestos spills, what they are and what to do if you encounter one. According to Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment, Regulation 8, an asbestos spill occurs when, quote, there has been a release of asbestos fibers due to a breach of the containment barrier on an abatement project or due to any cause other than abatement of asbestos. There are two types of asbestos spills. The first is a minor asbestos spill, which is, quote, a disturbance of ACM in amounts less than the trigger levels, and a major asbestos spill, which is a disturbance of ACM in amounts greater than the trigger levels. Just a quick reminder about the trigger levels in Colorado. For commercial buildings, 260 linear feet, 160 square feet, or the equivalent of a 55-gallon drum. And for a single-family residential dwelling, the trigger levels are the equivalent of a 55-gallon drum, 50 linear feet, and only 32 square feet. 32 square feet is the size of a sheet of drywall, 4 by 8. A more detailed description of trigger levels can be found in the video titled Inspections on this channel. Once a suspected asbestos spill is discovered, it is the responsibility of the facility owner, operator, or contractor to immediately contact a Colorado certified asbestos building inspector to collect bulk samples to determine if the building materials contain asbestos. If it is determined that asbestos is present, the building inspector will notify the facility owner, operator, or contractor and submit a spill notification to the state within 24 hours. It is then the responsibility of the facility owner, operator, or contractor to restrict access to the area and post warning signs to prevent entry. They must also shut off or modify the air handling system to prevent the spread of asbestos fibers. The spill must then be delineated by a Colorado certified air monitoring specialist, and the spill must be cleaned up by a certified general abatement contractor. Once complete, the area must pass a final clearance. So what does all this mean? Let's run through a few common scenarios to illustrate how to properly handle an asbestos spill. First scenario. There is a water leak in a single-family home on the main level that began in the hall bathroom. Water leaked down into the basement and caused the ceiling in the bedroom to collapse onto the floor below. It is unknown if there is asbestos in the drywall or not, so the first step is to contact a certified asbestos building inspector who will take bulk samples of the collapsed ceiling and submit them to a lab for analysis. They will also take the measurements of the portion of the ceiling that collapsed. We will say that it was a sheet and a half of drywall that fell, so that would be 48 square feet of drywall that fell from the ceiling. The results come back from the lab that the drywall samples from the ceiling do in fact contain asbestos. This is considered a major asbestos spill. Now the building inspector notifies the homeowner and contractor that there is asbestos in the ceiling material that fell. They send the state notification that there is a major asbestos spill at that home. Next, the Colorado Certified Air Monitoring Specialist, or AMS, comes to the home and completes a spill delineation, which they can do visually or by sampling areas in the home or a combination of the above to determine how far the asbestos fibers may have spread and to determine what areas of the home need to be included in the spill cleanup. This information is provided to the abatement contractor who is chosen to complete the spill cleanup. Following the spill cleanup, the area must undergo a final air clearance performed by a Colorado certified AMS. If there are more ACM materials that are going to be removed that are not part of the asbestos spill cleanup, the final air clearance of the spill cleanup can be completed at the same time as the abatement clearance. Remember that the asbestos spill cleanup must be completed prior to beginning any further asbestos abatement in the home. Scenario number 2. A general abatement contractor, or GAC, notices a breach in their containment where someone had broken into their containment overnight. The GAC will then seal the hole in the containment and restrict the area near the breach in the containment. A Colorado certified AMS will delineate the spill using the same methods as described in the previously in the single-family home. The GAC will complete a spill cleanup of the area that the AMS delineated. The area must be added to the active containment or be cleared once the spill cleanup is complete. Scenario number 3. An active abatement is being completed and daily air sampling is being collected by an AMS. One of the daily air samples is above the mol, or 0.01 fibers per cubic centimeter, as analyzed by PCM. The GAC can then do one of two things. First, they can treat the area as a major spill, including notifying the state and completing the spill cleanup of the area. Or, the AMS can take air samples from the same area using TEM samples within 24 hours. If the TEM samples within 24 hours and have them if the TM samples show that it is below the mol, no further action is required. However, if it is above the mol by TM, or 70 structures per millimeter squared, then the GAC must notify the state of the major spill and complete the spill cleanup of the area. Asbestos spills can cause quite a headache, and if not handled properly, can cause risk to health and a risk of not being in compliance with Colorado law. White Hat Services LLC has the experience and knowledge to help navigate asbestos spills to keep your customer and your business safe. The next time you encounter a possible asbestos spill, call White Hat Services LLC to help you safely navigate through the asbestos spill process.